good. Hey, Kate, very good. Lovely morning here. Hopefully, you can hear me now. The wind just cracked up a little bit. Hello, there's Howard Jones. Hello, Howard Jones. Say hello. Well, we all survived. Oh my God, it was just such a bad few days with the rain and the scour and everything going on. Medieval market, that sounds good. But so all the white goats are a little bit brown. Jessie stayed immaculately clean. She's amazing. If she was in a restaurant, she'd be the manager now, because I always found that um, working in a restaurant, I used to work as a waiter for years, and the people who were able to stay really clean, they became managers, probably being efficient and having a head for figures and stuff. But no, that was a big thing, because some of the waiters at the end would be just like me. Although I did become a manager, but it was a great sign of a waiter that could stay absolutely clean at the end of the shift. So they'll all probably come around later on. They're all over there now eating, and Howard Jones is here looking around. It's such the scour thing. I've never really had this before, so I've given them some probiotics last night, so I'll probably give them more this evening, and hopefully that'll be the end of it then, because you see them sleeping in the shed as well. They come into the shed when they want at night. They're getting more dirty, and like, the dirty isn't the main thing. Their healthiness is more important than their slickness, so it's more to keep them healthy is the main job. So that's it. So yesterday I was really, really nervous, because again, I wouldn't be there's Davine. There's Sheila running over. Sheila's a tough one altogether. She's kind of the middle one. There's the oldest one. And it's so hard to differentiate. They are getting little white spots and little black spots. I love the way the three go in under the two paps, as if they're going to develop a third pap on Davine or something. What do you think, Howard? But hey, girls. I must get some collars for them as well. They're getting more and more slightly different as they go along. Yes. Oh, Howard, that's it. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad about getting a vaccine that wasn't really trialed on people and stuff like that, but for work, it's essential. So, and I don't think they're like putting rat poison and acid together and saying, sure, look, we'll try this. You know, there are scientists, look at the hair, sorry. There are scientists out there doing a good job at making this stuff up. I don't think they are. And look, even if they are, even if the conspiracy theorists are right and it'll kill us off in 2 months, well, do you know something? I'd never be killed off than hanging around with all these kind of crazy people. Not crazy people, but just very extreme people, I suppose, to be the way, because really that's the problem. These people are very, you might just ask a question about the vaccine and all you can see at the end of the road are these very extreme people on either side. And I think that's a big problem in politics at the moment. It's all extreme. You might just go, so how well has the vaccine been tried? Oh my God, you're this. And then there's other people saying, yeah, they've chips in it and they've this in it and beans. And so look, I got it and I'm here. We'll see how it goes. But not much. My shoulder was a little bit sore, but I was able to milk this morning, which is the main thing. And that was it, really. That was everybody's. It's like Little House on the Prairie here. There's nettles. They're all honey's there. Honey has a scour still very much, and the little one, Nina. I'd be worried about the little one, Nina. Is she doing all right with the mom? They're all, as I say, yes, we could all go to the. If I could put the goats through a car wash now, it would be great. So that's one of the jobs now after yarn in the barn. I'm going to go off and just really scrub down everything in the shed as much as I can, clean the implements again and just have things nice and on top of things, you know. But it was the wet as well, the rain. Oh my God, the rain for the last couple of days. But there's a beautiful sky there now. There was something, I don't know, there was a helicopter just before I came on, just before I started broadcasting. There was a helicopter just sitting over the harbour there, over Valencia and Renard, just sitting there. So I don't know, was it looking for somebody or filming or whatever? But it went off out that direction, out for Dingle, I suppose, in that kind of direction. But anyway, thank God once everybody's all right. That's the main thing. So my story this morning, as I said, is my yarn. My yarn. Tá my yarn beganin ada. It is a bit long, but it's a great story. It's one of the first stories I ever told. I still love it. Usually I jump around, but holding the phone and stuff like that isn't... All righty, oh Rosemary, thanks very much. Oh, that was for a funeral, Houlihan's funeral. So, that's it. Well, it was a very nice gesture. So, it's a story based on a Sean O'Connell story. Now, Sean O'Connell was a storyteller who died 70 years ago yesterday, and I promised a lovely girl called Adele that I would do something for her, but between the jigs and the reels and the paperwork and the goats and the everything and the scheme and I didn't get around to it. So today I'm dedicating this story to the memory of Sean O'Connell and my lovely friend Adele. So this story is all about a man called Francie. All about a man called Francie. Agus bhí áthas down Francie. Francie was very happy. Do you know why? Because he was married to Betty. And Francie and Betty bhí áthas down they were very happy because they had a baby, Tommy. And this family were very rich because they had a cow called Ermintrude. And if you had a cow, you were very rich because you had milk from the cow and you could make butter and you could make cheese. And if you had a bit of flour, you could make bread, and you were very, very happy and wealthy. And that was great until one morning, Francie woke up and he said he'd go out and he'd have a look at the cow. And he went out anyway, and he ran in and he said, oh Betty, tá sé ú fásach, it's terrible. Oh Betty, ní credan tú you won't believe it. Oh, 'tis terrible. Cadatar, shul. Betty said, Francie, Cadatar, shul, what's going on? Oh Betty, our cow, Ermintrude, is gone. I can't find her anywhere. She's missing. Oh my God, Betty said, Cada Yilmar, what'll we do without the cow? She said, there's only one thing for us, Francie. You'll have to go out into the wide world and find the cow or something to eat or some way of making money. Oh, righty-o, Betty, he said, I'll go off and I'll look for the cow or something to eat or something to make money. Oh, she said, and hurry back, Francie. He said, will you miss me, Betty? And she said, no, I'm hungry already. Go on away now. So he headed out the back door and he headed up the mountain. And he was walking up the mountain Vishay ag shul, agus ag shul, walking agus ag shul. Agus Vishay ag stradial agus ag bechal, Ermintrude! They're all looking over it. Ermintrude! And after a while, he came to a big, big castle with a big, big door. So he said he better give it a big, big knock. Hello, this old woman said. Oh, hello, missus. I'm out looking for my cow. Is there any chance I could come in for a bite to eat? My son is a giant, and if he catches you here, he'll eat you alive. Oh, don't worry, missus, I'll take my chances. Is there any chance I could come in for a bite to eat? All right, so she said. So she brought him in, and she sat him down, and she put in front of him the most beautiful plate of chicken dippers and chips. There was a tub of tomato sauce, there was a tub of mayonnaise, and a tub of the two mixed together. It was fantastic. Oh, Francie was delighted with himself. And he picked up a chicken dipper and he was saying, would he put it into the ketchup or the mayonnaise or the ketchup and the mayonnaise or the two together? But they are kind of different. And next thing, what happened? Hello, mother! Hánig Fahakishti. The giant came in. Oh, hello, mother, he said. And he sat down at the other side of the table and Francie had to hide. He had to hide behind his chair. And the giant said, hello, mother. I'm starved with the hunger. I was so sick of getting into the boat, rowing out to the island, checking the cattle, and rowing back in again, that I caught the island and pulled it up on top of the mainland. You'd be hungry, all right, the mother said. Oh, yes, get the magic tablecloth. Faigan brat driachta. Well, the old lady went down and she got a white tablecloth and she put it up on the table. And the giant said, Bia Moshe the Hole Bia. Food, please, food. And if he did, all the food that you could ever imagine that you've ever ate in your whole life came up onto the table. And the giant, he started eating. Need the whole table cleared. Agus taréis tamam. Hitchena. In a chola. Asleep. But who was in behind the chair? Francie. And Francie said, wouldn't it be great if I had that tablecloth myself and Betty? We'd be eating all the time. So he snuck up to the table. He folded up the tablecloth, put it in under his oxter, and snuck out the back door. Well, it wasn't as nice a day as today. It was more like yesterday and the day before it. It was looking like it was going to rain. And Francie said, you know who lives around here? My cousin Dimpna. Sure, couldn't I spend the night with Dimpna and go home in the morning if it was dry with the tablecloth? Wouldn't that be the best thing? It would. So he went to Dimpna's house. Dimpna, are you inside, Dimpna? Oh, hello, Francis. Now, Dimpna was a very posh cousin. You know, posh cousins there, when they'd be coming to visit, you wouldn't be allowed to talk and you wouldn't be able to, I can't see anything now without my glasses. You wouldn't be able to talk if the posh cousins arrived. Dimpna would be the most poshest cousin. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I'm really, yeah, I have to leave that go now. But Dimpna was so, and he said, look, is there any chance I could spend the night? Of course you can, Francis, of course you can. It would be so wonderful. But you'll have to spend it in the shed because I'm redecorating at the moment and a bungabar from the top to the bottom of the house. It's in chaos. No problem at all, Dimpna, Francie said. Is there any chance you'd mind my tablecloth? Of course, Francis, of course. It looks clean enough, Dimpna said. But, he said, whatever you do, don't say Bia Moshe the Hole Bia. No aber Bia Moshe the Hole Bia. She said, not at all, sure. I've curtains to pick out and to match the walls and the balustrades and everything. I won't have time. So poor old Francie went out into the shed. And God help us, it was damp and it was cold. But it was somewhere comfortable, and after a while, he fell sound asleep. And of course, my rip inside, the minute he was asleep, there was no more decorating going on. And she put out the tablecloth, and she said, Karadurchi, Bia Moshe the Hole Bia. Food, please, food. And there was volivants and lobster and prawns up on the table. There was loads of hors d'oeuvres. And she said, oh my goodness, Sure, poor Francis and Betty wouldn't know what to do with this kind of a tablecloth. I'd be much better off with this because I hold wonderful dinner parties. So she took all the food off the table. She was on a diet herself, keto. And she folded up the tablecloth, put it up into the top press, brought down a plain white one, and had it ready for the morning. In the morning, oh, Francie woke up. Christ, he was stiff on one side and too loose on the other. But anyway, he went in and he said, Dimpner, you inside? Have you my tablecloth? Of course, Francis, of course I have. Agus ní dúirt tú aon rud mar jowler. Bia, Moshe the Hole, Bia. Not at all. I had a terracotta crisis here that would cut the head off anyone. I didn't have time. So, tablecloth, she gave him the white tablecloth, and off he went down the mountain again. And after a while, Taresh Tamil, his father, what could he see? He could see his small little house, Tig Biog Fain. And after another while, Taresh Tamalin, who could he see? He could see Betty inside of Van Kayla. And he went, Betty, quick, come out, Betty. And Betty ran out and she said, oh, Francie, you've no cow. Don't worry about the cow. When they see what we have here, we'll finally get on to Kerry Radio. We'll be talking to Jury. We'll be on the Kerry Man. They won't be too busy to talk to us at all. We'll be everywhere. Oh, my goodness. They'll all be here. You better clean up the house. Oh, my God, Betty said, Kerry Radio are finally going to get on to us. And they cleaned up everything, and she'd everything nicely cleaned up and sorted. And she sat down, and she's right. Taspon them. Show me. Agus cuir sé an bratar and mórt, he put the tablecloth on the table and spread it out. Agus cara dúirt sé, he said, Bia Moshe the Hole Bia. Cada harla. What happened? Bia Moshe the Hole Bia. Cada harla. Fuck, nothing. Fuck. Bia, my brogue, Francie. You're supposed to go out and look for the cow or look for something to eat or look for some way to make money. Not to be bringing home all tablecloths and talking to them. But it is magic. Get out there and find the cow or something to eat or something to make money. Poor old Francie, he headed out the back door again. And he headed up the mountain. Agus bhí Broner, he was sad. Agus bhí Dímáir, he was disappointed. Ermatrude! He was talking. Ermatrude! Nothing. But after a while, what appeared in front of him? That huge big castle with the huge big door. So he said he better give it a huge big knock. You dirty little devil, you come back here. You stole the tablecloth. Missus, if I stole the tablecloth, 'tis at home I'd be, eating food and eating my nuff. I didn't steal anything. Please, will you let me in? I'm out looking for the cow. Will you give me a bite to eat? My son is a giant. I know your son is a giant, and if he comes in here, it's welcome to eat me at this stage, but I'll hide and I won't get anybody into trouble. Would you please let me in for a bite to eat? All right, so she brought him in and she sat him down and she put out the most beautiful dinner possible. Oh, yeah. There was pork chops, there was mashed potatoes, there was croquettes, there was peas and beans mixed together, and people do like those. And it was all beautiful. Oh, it was gorgeous. And then he got a jug of gravy. She was a great woman. And he poured the gravy over the pork chop. He poured them over the mashed potatoes. He poured it over the croquettes. And he was going to pour it over the peas and beans mashed together. People do like that. But next thing, Cata Harla, who came in? The giant. Hello, mother. Hello, mother. Quick, Francie had to hide behind the chair. Oh, mother, I was so sick of climbing up the mountain, looking for the sheep and gathering together and climbing down again, that I flattened it out completely. You'd be hungry, all right, the mother said. Oh, yes, said the giant. Feigon brought to get the magic tablecloth. She wasn't able to, and she said, "Oh, do you know, they're desperate down the laundry at the moment. I took it down there last week, or yesterday, and they still didn't have it done by today." And I said, "Oh, Cark Galore Vami," he said, "Feigon Cark Driocta." And she went down the room, and Shomra, Honey, she amach le Cark Piog Dove. She came up with a small black hen. She on Cark on more, she put the hen up on the table, Agus Durt on Fahog. Of, the giant said, "Of Marsha the Hole, of egg, please, egg." And next thing, he got a gold egg, he got a silver egg, he mashed them all together, and he got a whole lot of €2 coins. He said, "Now, Mommy, go on down and do the shopping with that." Well, the mother flew down the hill on the bike. She went into the town. She bought all the food in Lidl, all the food in Aldi, all the food in Tesco, all the food in Super Value, all the food in Centra, all the food everywhere. And apple greens will throw it in as well. And she cycled up the mountain again with 5 shopping trolleys full of food. She burst open the door. The giant caught the first shopping trolley, and he ate everything inside it, packaging and all, and he threw the trolley over there. The second one went the same way. The third one threw over there. The fourth one, the fifth one, he nearly ate his mother on the bicycle. Sorry, Mom. Sorry. And he was fine and full. Agus hit she in a colour. But who was in behind the chair? Francie. And he said, "Wouldn't that hen be handy by myself and Betty? We'd have coins all the time. We could go shopping." Hello, Howard. We could go shopping. We could. So he crept up. So he got the hen under his oxer. And he got out the back door. And he said, "Oh, this hen, she was flapping her wings and flopping around the place and flooping upside down." And he said, "There's only one thing for it. Can't I take the hen home to my cousin Dimpna and put the hen in a bag or something and take her home to Betty in the morning? That'd be the best crack." So, Dimpna, Onwell to Ishtig, Dimpna, are you inside? "Oh, Francis, isn't it a joy to see you? Isn't it a joy? Oh, still no look on the cow front, but could I spend the night?" "Of course you can, Francis, of course you can, but we're having a huge dinner party here tonight. We're having everybody. We're having the Kardashians, we're having Jedward, and we're having Mother, everybody. Look, there's trouble here now. We're having Bliss as well. And you'd have to spend it in the shed." "No problem at all, Dimpney," he said. "But I've a hen here. Would you mind looking after it for me?" "Of course, Francis, I'd only be too delighted." But he said, "Whatever you do, na aber, don't say, of Moshe the Hulle, of." "Oh, not at all. Sure, I haven't a costume picked out for this evening and the hors d'oeuvres and everything. So off you go out into the shed and I'll get ready for the dinner party." So he went off out into the shed. Wasn't very comfortable. Wasn't very warm. Look at this one. It wasn't very anything. And he said, "You know what?" But finally, he fell asleep. And if he did, Dimpna got the hen. She got the black hen. She got the black hen. She put the hen up on the table. Agus Catadorchi of Moshe the Hulle of. And she got a gold egg and a silver egg. Don't ask me how she knew what to do, but she mixed them together. Maybe the instructions were written on eggs. But she got a whole lot of €2 coins. And she said, "Oh, Sure, poor Francis and Betty wouldn't know what to do with all this money. I'm so much better at spending money. Oh, it would be perfect. So she took the magic hen, out into her yard, and she brought in a small little black carboon. Now a carboon is a hen. Agus tá she anna is the very old indeed, and not much good for anything. So the next morning, Francie woke up and he said, Dimna, oh, did you sleep well, Francis? Oh, I did, Dimna, did a girl, good thank you ever so much. Have you my magic hen? Of course I have, Francis. Of course I have. Of course I have. Right. And she gave him the little hen. She said, I put it into a bag and all for you. And off he went down the mountain. And after a while, Taresh Tamil, he could see his small little house. Agus Taresh Tamalin Ella, he could see his little wife, Betty. And he went, Betty! Betty! Come out, Betty! Taramak, Betty! Fan gaveki to wait till you see. And she ran out and she said, Francie, you're home and you've no cow. Don't worry about the cow at all, girl. When they see what we have here, we'll be on our team. We'll be on with Tommy Tiernan, as hard as it is to get on there. We'll be in the Irish Independent. We'll be in the Irish Times, girl. You better tidy up the house. Oh, here's full trouble now. Hello, Ruby. You better tidy up the house. And she said, I don't know, Francis, the last time you said this, no, nothing happened. And he said, no. Wait till you see. This is magic. This is real. Tidy up the house. So she kind of gave it a bit of a spick and a bit of a clean and a bit of a dust. And she sat down. She said, Anish, taspon them. So he said, rightio. And he got the hen. The carboon, I should say. He got the carboon. Agus Kirshian carboon. Who's the remote? He put the hen up on the table and he said, Ov Marshe the Hole Ov. Agus Kada Harla. Nothing. Ov Marshe the Hole Ov. And he went, Ov Marshe the Hole Ov. And the hen fell over and died. She said, this old hen, Francie, you're supposed to be out looking for the cow, or some way of making money, or something to eat. And you come home with this old carboon. Sure, we can't even eat her, she's so tough. Go out and look for the cow, or some way of making money, or something to eat. So he went out the back door and he went up the mountain. Agus vi brown her. Agus very dima he was disappointed. Agus just vi scour he was fed up. That's not the word for fed up now. And he went off, and next thing, all that came in front of him was the huge big castle with the huge big door. Who have I here now? Yes. And so he said he'd give it a huge big knock. You have some cheek coming back here. Missus, I have no cheek whatsoever. Not on my face, not on my behind. I'm starved with hunger. Is there any chance I could come in for a bite to eat? I don't know. My son, I know about your son. He's a giant. If he comes in, I hide. Mrs., please take pity on me. I haven't eaten since the start of the story. Will you please let me in for a bite to eat? All right, so she said. So she brought him in and she sat him down and she brought out the most beautiful plate of spaghetti bolognese you ever saw in your life. Oh, Vishe go hall in her father. I was on Bola. Hello, Maxie. We didn't see you in ages. Look anywhere. So it was gorgeous. The smell and the spaghetti and the sauce and the redness and the smell. Vishe go took her father. It was fantastic. And he put the fork in and he started turning and twisting and twisting and turning and turning and twisting and twisting and turning until he had half the plate of the spaghetti wrapped around the fork, and he was bringing it up to his mouth. Agus Kada Harla. It slipped off the fork. And he went turning and twisting and twisting and turning and turning and twisting and twisting and turning and turning and turning. Agus Kada Harla. Hanig on Fahakastig. Hello, mother, the giant said. Oh my, I was so fed up of the cows breaking here and breaking there and getting solicitors' letters that I had to put him on the mountain and rake it up again. And then the sheep were breaking here and they were breaking there, so I had to put them in my island and push it out again. Oh, the mother said, you'd be hungry, all right. Oh, yes, he said. Feigon brought triuchta. And she said, oh, I don't know what's going on with the laundry. There's some new girl down there, I'd say, or something like that, or a boy as well, but they're not getting it done, and there's no sign of it. Oh, he said, all right, get the Feigon Carcadriachta, get the magic hen. Now she was stuck on that one too, but she was never lost for words, this lady, and she said, oh, I'd say the fox is around because Mrs. Murphy that has the goose that lays the golden eggs lost a few as well. Are you saying Níl éon brought tríocht ann, agus níl éon cearc tríocht ann freshen? You're not looking after the stuff, mother. You're not looking after the goods. Well, I'm cooking and cleaning here all the time, and that's all the thanks I get for it. You're always the same. I'm supposed to do everything morning, noon, and night, cleaning up, gathering, minding hens, and looking after Feigon Cleta Driachta. Get the magic feather. She shut up fairly quick and she said, well, there's no need to be like that. I mean, Feigon Cleta Driachta Dorche, get the magic feather. Well, if she did, she went down and she was putting her legs behind her very slowly and she wasn't moving very forward. But anyway, she went down and she came up out of the room with a small white feather. And if she did, Dortan Fahak, the giant, said, hey, knickety knick. And next thing, oh God Almighty, oh Jesus Almighty feather, oh Lord God Almighty, oh Lord God. The feather started tickling the old lady. Oh Lord God, in behind the knees, under the arms, oh Jesus Almighty. Her false teeth came out. Oh Lord God Almighty. She was torn around the place. Oh Lord, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. And the giant said, stop. And it stopped and the old lady fell asleep where she was on the floor. And the giant, even though he hadn't eaten anything that night, Taresh Tamil hit Shayina. In a hole. But who was in behind the chair? Francie. And he said, do you know what? I've taken everything else. I might as well take the feather as well. So he snuck up. And he got the feather. And he put it under his oxter. Feather. He snuck out the back door. And he said, oh, there's no way I'd go home with the feather in my hand like this. This is tickling me mad. So he said, there's only one thing for it. Sure, I'll call to my cousin Dimna. Couldn't we put the feather into Galty cheese box or something like that, and I could take it home in the morning? Dimna, are you inside, Dimna? Oh, hello, Francis, and how are you? Isn't it a joy to see you? Oh, 'tis nice, all right, Dimna, but I'm out looking for the cow, and is there any chance I could spend the night in the shed? I'm afraid not in the shed, Francis. We're after buying a helicopter, and we have that in the shed. So, maybe we have a box, a cardboard box. You can sleep in that. Oh, no problem at all. I'll sleep out there, Dimna. But will you please mind this feather for me? Of course, Francis, of course. I'd be delighted. And he said, now, whatever you do, if you value your life, na aber he knickety knick. Not at all, not at all. I won't have time. We'll probably go to Dingle later for a bottle of milk on the copter. So, poor old Francie went out into the box. Oh, God, help us, it wasn't very big at all. Oh, it wasn't very dry. It wasn't very comfortable, but he managed to fall asleep. And if she did, of course, the briar was inside and she was waiting. And she got the feather and she said, hey, knickety knick. And if she did, oh, God Almighty, Francis, oh, that feather tickled her. Oh, Lord God Almighty, Francis, it ran around her. Francis, all the Botox flew out of her. Oh, Francis, all the plastic surgery burst open. Francis, and she lost a few bits. Francis, please. And he ran in and he said, stop. And she said, now, there's your magic tablecloth. There's your feather. there's your hen. Now off you go, and I don't want ever to see you again. He said, I don't think you will, Dimna. So the poor man, he had his tablecloth, he had the hen, and he had the feather, and he was going down the hill. Agus taréis tamil, he could see his little home. Agus taréis tamil Nella, he could see his little wife. Agus hosig sé scraideal agus bécal, Betty! Betty! Taramak, Betty! Taramak! Fan go vecig tú! Tá míad go húnta ar fad, tá gachrod cart galore, everything is fine out. And she ran out and she said, Francie, you're home. And you're totally cracked. No, not at all. He said, Fan go vecig tú now, wait till you see. And he said that when they see this, when they see what we have, we'll be in CNN. We'll be on the BBC. We'll be with the WHO. We'll be everywhere. You better clean up the house. No, she said, Francie, you tried this the first time. Agus cad a harla. Fuck. Agus on Dara Town the second time. Cad a harla. Fuck. So when you ask me now this time what's going to happen? Fuck, nothing. I'm not going to clean up the house. Oh, he said, you better, Betty. They're all coming. This is for real now this time. This is the way to go. And she said, Francie, you know that when I say no, I mean no. So he caught the feather and he threw it at Betty and he went, hey, kinnickety kinnick. And if he did, the feather flew around the house and cleaned everything up for Betty. It was like Mr. Sheen and the ballerina had an affair. The house was gleaming. Oh, she said, Cuisa, that's nice enough now. Card Mariol and the Rodiella. What about the other things? Taspoindum. That was all right. He went off and he got the hen. He could share on carcar and more dagus cadadorche. Ov, marshe the hole, ov. He got a gold egg, he got a silver egg, and he mashed them all together. And she said, oh, I'll go to town. He said, no, don't bother going to town now. Fan no maid the nish, wait a minute. He put the tablecloth up on the table. Agus cada dúirte, bia, marsha the holiday, bia. He's food, please, food. And there was burgers up on the table. There was chips flowing off it. There was fish fingers. There was ketchup coming out of the taps. And you couldn't open the back door by sausages. There was food everywhere. It was impossible to move. Agus hotig she they get. They started eating. Agus fi she they get. Fag cuig blian for 5 years. Uncle Betty said, oh my God, the child, baby Tommy, we forgot all about him. And she went up and she brought down baby Tommy. Agus hutig she they get a rish. They started eating again. Goblin Ella for another 2 years. And she said, look, I just have to go to town. Get the hen now. We'll get more change out of the hen. So he said, Uv Marsha the Hule Uv. And he got a gold egg and a silver egg. He mashed them all together and he had a whole lot of €2 coins. And he said, now, Betty, go in and do a bit of shopping with that. She said, I'll just have some of these sandwiches here. Oh, my goodness. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. And that was all right. And she put on her coat. She was heading for town. She went out the back door. And she said, Francis, you'll never guess who's outside here. And he said, who? Ermintrude the cow. She was outside the front all the time. And Francie said, well, isn't it a good job I kept going out the back door? Because we'd have no story whatsoever. Gurev Mahagever Fad, thank you ever so much. I hope you all stayed on. Please, it would be so nice to share this for Sean O'Connell, the Storyteller's Day yesterday. So if you enjoyed the story, please share it on Facebook, Twitter, or anything else like that you have. Gurev Mahagever Fad, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:20, hopefully, if I'm up, and all good. Have a lovely day, everybody. Gurev Mahagever Fad, thank you ever so much. Thank you.